Okay, everyone has to acknowledge that we're being recorded, and be on your best behavior, of course. So what's today? The 17th of January. So what is that? 17 de Janeiro. Is that right, Trish? Okay, thanks. We don't have any of our Italian friends on yet that I can see, but we're starting to get a few more coming in. I see some faces that I want to welcome back. Betty Libby, thanks for coming back to us. Thanks for your note today, Betty.
And thanks for the stuff that you sent me. Very helpful,
Sure.
and I follow up.
Betty's planning a trip, and we'll talk about that in a minute.
I have to tell you, Nick, that between the last time I was at the group, I met with a genealogy helper at our library. And
Yes.
I was telling her about this group and said that even though I had nobody in Carlentini, I was learning a lot from this group. And she said, oh, I went on to a group from another village in Sicily. And if you didn't have a relative there, they just thought you were a big pain in the neck and they didn't want you involved at all. So thank you for being tolerant.
Well, there are a lot of people on this call with ancestry from places other than Carlentini. So I want to be respectful to all of those places. We share quite a bit of Lentini, of course, but I know Susan Finley just joined us. She has Termini Imerese, which is up near Palermo, up very close to your Polizzi Generosa.
I know. I have to ask her about her Graziano relatives. Not, they're the Santaninfa group, but I've got Grazianos too. So
that's all. We had our first Zoom call with our Termini group on Sunday, and that kind of like what we have with this group. And we had about 12 people, and I actually found a Pasha. Nick, can you believe that? Relatives. So, you know, you never know. It's just very interesting what you find out.
yeah.
And I want to welcome Anita Kilty. She's one of our regulars with Omaha roots from, but she lives in Colorado. And I was just talking to my brother. He was visiting his daughter in Colorado. So
is he here now?
No, he's back in California.
Oh, good, because we're getting another big snowstorm again today.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're getting that tomorrow.
And Marianne Webster is a Mangiamelli, and she was part of the large group that went to
Hi, everybody.
Carlentini.
Hello.
Ciao, Eleonora.
Ciao a tutti.
And Marianne Safio. Now, Marianne, do you have both Carlentini and Lentini, or just one or the other?
Me? Are you speaking to me?
Yes.
It's Carlentini and Catania.
Oh, Catania. Okay. See,
Catania.
there's some diversity there, Betty. So I didn't know you had Catania. So is it the big city, or is it a little town outside of?
Catania is a big city. Just the historical center has almost 450.
No, but what I'm asking, Marianne, is does your ancestry go to the big city or to one of the smaller cities in Catania province?
No, big city, big city.
Okay. Gary Gibilisco. I keep running across your tree, no matter where I search. And Mary Kay. So are you still playing with cemetery records, Mary Kay?
Not so much. I'm still trying to find an efficient way to audit all the work, but that hasn't happened. I know there's probably one or two that didn't make the list, but I'm mostly downloading the pictures, as many pictures as I can.
Mhm.
I have all of my, because of that work, I have all of my great grandmothers, all the Kniglia, I have all of her siblings now. So that's been fun to see.
Yeah, I've been doing the same thing. I'm doing my great grandfather's siblings. And Mary Betancourt, how's the weather in California?
We're dry for the next 10 days, I think.
Yeah. So do you have anything on your genealogical wish list for 2023?
Genealogical wish list.
I know.
I love it.
I'm gonna try to figure out how I can connect to my dad's side, the Polish side.
Oh,
So I haven't done anything on that, so I'm gonna try that, but I'm loving all the sources for the Italian side because it's really helping.
mhm.
And all of your trees that I can connect to. That's
So
what-
Trish, just wanted to mention that I didn't get very far on transcribing the cemetery register. I think I did one page.
I saw
And
what
I
you,
haven't,
hey, every little bit helps.
There you go.
so yeah, we could use
I
some
mean,
more transcribers. If anybody
Yes.
wants to help transcribe that
Yes,
spreadsheet. And let's see, Diane LaFurla. Now, you look familiar, Diane, but has it been a while or?
It's been a
or are you-
while. It's been a while,
Okay.
Nick. Yes.
So refresh our memory. Where is your ancestry?
Carlentini.
Uh-huh.
And my mother's side is Czech and German.
Uh-huh.
But my husband's grandfather is from Lentini, and his grandmother is from, now I can't think of the name. I'll think of it. I'll tell you. But it's middle Italy.
Mm-hmm.
Diane?
Ciao.
Ciao, Silvana.
Ciao,
Diane,
Silvana.
have you ever visited?
Yes, we went to Sicily. I think it was, I can't tell you what year, but we walked through the whole cemetery and took some pictures, which I have on CD or on disc. And visited with my cousin who lives in Augusta.
So you met your cousins, you know them?
Yes. Actually, my cousin's Calabro moved to Omaha when I was in high school. And then the parents and the kids stayed here, except for one cousin moved back to Sicily because his wife didn't like living in the USA.
Sorry for interrupting. Is the cousin Nino Calabro?
Calabro.
Nino Calabro. It was
Nino.
the owner of Musicland. Yes, Nino. Okay,
Correct.
perfect.
Ah, the
Yes.
corner. Okay, with
The corner of Musicland. And yes,
Yeah.
okay.
He sold Musicland, and then they bought a place by the sea.
Yes, in Broccoli. Yeah, it's my cousin. That's why I know. And sorry, he's married to my cousin, Marina Fileti.
Welcome in
Marina
the family.
Yeah.
Silvana, conosci Nino Calabro? Sicuro sì.
Who's talking?
No, my cousin is Marina
Salvo,
Fileti.
mostraci il tuo viso perché non
Io-
ti vede in faccia.
Oh, sorry.
Pure io lo conosco, Nino Calabro.
I can't tell who was talking about Calabro.
Salvo Fileti is talking. Now he will show his face. maybe.
Sorry.
You-
Give me a second. I am in the middle of. Sorry, I'm far away from the computer. That's why. Sorry.
It's fine.
I
Even
can't see it.
Silvana knows Nino Calabro.
Conosco anche la moglie, la cognata.
Ok,
Hai seguito tutta la storia o vuoi che ti traduco qualcosa?
Ma ho capito che lei, il papà è dei Lentini.
Origine lentinese che è stata qua anni fa.
Sì, ho capito.
I will go
Comunque,
Italian
Nino Calabro,
English, as you can
ascoltami.
understand.
Quando mio
Ha
marito
dato il
si
nome
è
al tuo
reso-
negozio, no?
ha
Al
dato
negozio
il
di tuo
nome al
marito.
negozio di mio marito. Nel
Sì.
1976 lui era a Carlentini e aveva il negozio a Siracusa, Music Land. Allora mio marito, conoscendo, dice: Nino, ma tu che dici? Che nome mettiamo a questo negozio? Un nome
So
diverso,
Silvana,
particolare.
she's sharing a
Subito,
memory.
take off!
Nel 70?
6,
Sei.
1976.
1976, Nino Calabro, who is still a great friend of Silvana's husband. Silvana's husband, Roberto, he was opening a new business, a new shop selling clothes. So he was talking with Nino Calabro saying, my friend, I'm still thinking about the name of my shop. Which kind of name should I give it? And then he said, Take Off. And then it is still Take
It's still
Off
the name.
since
Ancora
1976.
fino a ora.
Yeah, it is still exists. It's close to the main square in
Sono
Carlentini.
passati
Sì.
42 anni.
42 years. Yeah.
My nana was a Calabro.
No, di
I
più,
saw
di più.
somebody
Margie,
sneak in and
see?
now I don't see her anymore. Where's Meg Manfito? Is she still with us?
She's there.
Oh, there you are. Okay.
I'm right
Uh,
here.
Yeah, your icon changed location on my screen. So you were up there by Marianne on my screen, and then I want to welcome you. And let's see, we got Monica Zendejas, and Monica has been busy transcribing cemetery records and doing some wonderful work for us in terms of the Carlentini Cemetery. How's it going, Monica?
Good. I'm working on transcribing some of those Antonati records in my notebooks. I've got like 30 years done so far.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. So explain a little more what you're doing.
Well, I just have notebooks and I just doing it for my record, and I'll just put all the birth, death, and records in here. I just basically am making my own index because most of them you can't read, or they're missing some, or they don't have one. And so I've just been going through the records and extracting all the information. And I've started with 1820 and I'm up to 1858.
And what's the area you're doing it for, Monica?
Carlentini.
Okay.
Carlentini.
So is that different than what Jim's doing? You know, Jim is transcribing stuff.
Jim is putting it in his tree, I think, aren't you, Jim?
Yeah, I don't.
I
yeah,
gotta
you're
hit my
muted.
mute button. Yeah.
I'm just extracting it now.
So, okay, so you're doing what? You're doing the.
I'm basically making my own index for everything.
So it's.
And then
all the birth,
then after I'm
birth,
done, then I'll go through my family tree, and if I have the couple in there, then I add the information.
So you're going through the regular records and making an index. You're not. Thank you.
Yes.
Can
For
you
the
give
new
me like
ones,
1850?
I'm in I started at 1820 and I'm in 1858 right now.
Yeah. Can you give me 1850, because that's the one where I can't read anything.
Yes, I will do that. But what I'm going to have to do is scan my pages because I didn't put them in the computer. I scanned it.
Okay, no problem.
But I'll scan it and send it to you.
So for the new ones, Guy, here we have today is for you, tonight's for us, a lot of new faces. So we have our dream team made by Nick, Jim, and Dean, who are our genealogists. Jim has a family tree, our mother tree, with more than 60,000 people just at the Carlentini side.
No.
Nick is our responsible.
60,000 records. It's 60,000 records. It's only 20-some thousand. It's only 20-some thousand.
I can't follow
people.
him anymore, guys. And then Nick is our responsible. Dean this is his passion, but he helps a lot. He has another method. He has printed all the genealogical trees, and then Monica, Mary Kay, they're becoming essential part of our hands, like the fingers. So the team is growing. The majority of you is in the United States. From Italy, we have tonight just let's say Europe. We have Salvo in Dublin, but he has Carlentinesi origins. Silvana is in Carlentini. I'm in Modica. Sicily, Giussi, where are you? Roma or
Tonight,
Sicily?
Roma.
Tonight you're in Rome.
Tonight, Roma. I change. I never sleep for more than 10 days in the same place. I can see my cousin, Sara.
Perilongo, vieni che c'è sta cucina vicino.
Sì, Perilonga.
Perilongo.
Sì.
Perilongo means long foot. That means when you like to travel and move around a lot. And this is the final result. Today we are 22 people. The final result of almost more than 2 years of meetings. So we have more or less 50 meetings per year. So we have new faces tonight. Usually we give space to new people because the majority of us, we work very often to our family tree. Myself as well, I have updated something this week. And it's always a discovery. You talk with an aunt and you understand another detail and you add another picture. And there is a long life journey, as I call it. The majority of you, I think, have been in Sicily. Some of them with myself, as my travelers, because I'm a tour guide. What can I say? Nick, where are you? Over there. So I give you the word. Silvana, have you understood everything?
No.
No, come on.
Sono distratta un attimo.
Vabbè, niente, ho presentato più o meno il team, but she's learning English very well, and I'm so proud of her. Brava, bravissima. Ho presentato un po' tutti. I give the word to Nick to let the new people getting involved. We have new faces tonight.
I want to welcome Margie Karsten's back with us. Margie was with us last week, and she and I have been chatting on Facebook Messenger and finding all sorts of great stuff on the Castros and the Gulizias.
I have a question for Margie.
Yes.
Because after the Zoom meeting, it was like, oh, that Sixth and William is your mother or grandmother. She lived down there in Castro store down there in Sixth and William.
Okay. Yes. Joe,
You just called him.
No, I called Larry. And he's Joe Castro store. Is that the one you're referring to?
Yeah. Because I think my mom, at the same time I was going through some of the census records, and what was your grandmother's name? Maggie? Margaret?
Well, my grandmother was Margaret Belgard, but she passed away when my mother was 4 years old.
Okay.
So
and her
Rose. Right.
Yeah, and my mom, and she probably went to school up at Train School and was a year or two behind my my mom.
It's fun, but it's
and when I was looking at it, I was like, oh, all these people live in the same neighborhood here. And it's like you go up 6th Street, down William on the same side, on the same block, and then you hang a right-hand turn and go up 5th Street. And it was like, these are all cousins, you know, of mine, and they're probably all cousins of yours too. So I think that's really kind of cool. And I just noticed that after the Zoom meeting, and I was like, wow, where did you go to high school?
Well, I went to high school at My parents moved out to 50th and Grover, so I went to Gross High School,
Okay, all right.
but I did go to train school.
You did?
I did for a while.
Oh, wow.
School.
And
Those
that-
pictures are beautiful.
So
They
I'm
are
getting some voices, chat in the background. Do you know which microphone that's coming from?
Just to turn off your mic.
Yeah, if you're not talking, please turn off your mic so that we don't pick up the background.
So
Okay,
I wanna,
so
yeah, I'd just like to chat with you sometime offline.
I would
Margie.
love that.
Yeah.
I would absolutely, yeah.
Okay, lots of detail out there.
Yes.
So Margie,
so
Margie,
let me,
can I ask Margie a question?
Sure.
Was it you, Margie, that said you moved to Grover Street?
Yes.
Where in Grover?
49th Ave off of Center, St.
Oh,
Thomas
okay.
More area.
Yeah, I was in St. Thomas More.
So my nana,
I was a-
Galicia,
What's that?
I was a
My non-
Morinelli.
okay.
Morinelli.
And you said earlier Calibro, right?
That's my nana's maiden name.
And that's my nana's maiden name.
Really?
Diane, are you Tom's brother? Your sister?
We're first cousins.
I am. I went to school with Tom Mornelli.
Well, you mean at OLL?
No, at Ryan High.
I went to Ryan.
Well, so did I.
You just don't look the same, Gary.
Class of '69.
Me too.
Oh, really? Oh,
yes.
Diane Mornelli. Okay, I do remember now.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
okay, so I am going to have to apologize to Eileen Urso because I muted you because I could not, we were hearing some background. Can you unmute yourself, Eileen?
Yep, I can unmute and then you can mute me again. I'm at work.
Okay.
I just accepted your friendship on Facebook.
Yes, I just was going to send you a message. Thank you.
You are
So
welcome.
Eileen, you sent me an email and I'm going to pull, do you mind if I share that email with the group?
That's fine.
Okay, so let's see if I can find it. And there it is. Oh, stop. Where'd you go? Oh, here it is. So first you said, has anyone done ancestry.com or do they suggest another form to find out true roots? So, okay, so this tree that I keep bouncing back and forth on is ancestry.com. Like these pictures that I had for Margie, I've put on ancestry.com or somebody else put them and I just grabbed them. This is the homepage for ancestry.com. And it, it has all sorts of stuff over here in the columns of records that you can work on. If you look at this top bar, you've got trees. Like I've got so many different trees that I've created. My personal tree is Chimino and Harrington, but I have this one for the group that I call Italians of Omaha, Carlentini and Beyond. And then DNA, you can also look at your DNA matches on ancestry.com. So
and sharing my little experience at the website version works better than the app, because I downloaded even the app, and in my app I cannot find anything, while in the website everything is updated. So I follow this. This was Nick's suggestion.
Mhm. I got my dad tested. This is, you can see that we share 3,400 centimorgans. 50% of my DNA comes from my father. And this is his sister, and we share 25%. And then my mom's sister, my nephew, my brother's son. So
Nick, have you
you know, you
played
can
with
find
the,
all these matches.
Nick, have you played with the by parent at all? Because like I've done mine, but I did my father's and he's 100%. And I found that kind of fun to mess around with, because I can, you know, since they're from the same town, my grandparents are both in Carlentini.
I found that very interesting too, Mary Kay.
Yeah. It's good.
Maybe
It's,
you
I've been
could
trying to
show us
label what
around
side
the-
they were on.
some point. And Eileen, the other big website that you need to become familiar with is Family Search. They also have family trees. You have to sign in, of course, in order to get to your stuff. But I can look at my family tree on Family Search as well. Now, they have a different approach. Ancestry does lots of little family trees, whereas Family Search is a one world tree approach. So they want you to try to eliminate duplicates for your ancestors. They also, I mean, both Ancestry and Family Search have a catalog. And like if you put the place name in the catalog, and it'll actually come up in Family Search. It doesn't do that in Ancestry. You can get Syracusa in Ancestry. You just can't get the city. So these are all the records that they have available for Carlentini. Some of them have these little keys, which means they're locked. You have to go to a family history center. And that's where you come into the third leg of this three-legged chair is what we call the Portali Antonati. I have a quick link that takes me into Carlentini, but here's the main page, Portali Antonati, and they actually have, well, for example, birth records. They have, here's the list of all the years of birth records for Carlentini that they have. So depending on what your town is. Okay, so Eileen, tell us a little bit about your town of origin. Do you know anything about, you said Sicily, but you didn't really say where in Sicily.
You know, I don't know that. That's why I've been on those Facebook pages, and I found you guys commenting. So I thought I'd take a peek at what you guys are doing. Unfortunately, my mom, her siblings, and her parents are all gone now. So I don't know where we're from, and that's why I'm trying to figure out, because I am planning a trip to Italy and Sicily later this year. So I don't even know how to start or where to start to find out where we're from.
Okay, well,
so do you have like names and birth dates?
Yeah,
you
start with
yes,
yourself.
I do.
Starting with yourself is always the best place to start.
Yes.
So I could do a demo with you a little bit later, but I want to get around the room because we have some other newbies. I just want to get a feel for where they're coming from as well.
Eileen,
no problem.
I also promised Betty that I would focus on
I don't know how,
that she
Eileen, I don't know
email
how.
me about as well.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes, Dean, we hear you.
there are some Orsos spelled ORSO in Omaha. I don't know if that could be related to you or not. I don't know how.
So Eileen,
Actually,
tell me, is Urso your maiden name?
no, actually, my mother's maiden name was Scalisi, and my husband's name is Urso. So he's got some Italian, and he's not sure where from too, but my mom was Scalisi.
From
Eileen Scalisi?
Termini.
Yes. They came
Scalisi, SC.
Scalisi
Okay, we have a lot of
with that
Scalisi in Carlentini.
No,
with
ma
an
ce ne
S.
sono tanti. C'è solo
No?
Melinda e suo fratello. Melinda Scalisi e Carlo Scalisi.
Allora sono
Let
lentinesi quelli
me
che
show you
conosco.
what she
Sì, poi c'è qualche
gave
Scalisi
me
a
in the
Lentini
way
che
of a
poi è
spelling.
il marito di Vera. Non so se lo
No, sai, hai
d'amore.
ragione, Scalisi, sai chi c'è tanti a Catania? Scusami, la mia
Eh.
professoressa di storia.
Sopra
I had a
Carlentini.
teacher. I
Allora,
had a
Eleonora,
oh,
a Carlentini, la maestra che c'era lì quando ci siamo andati a incontrarci, una delle maestre che parlava inglese, si chiama Scalisi, Melinda.
okay, but
Eileen,
this
I'm
is
highlighting
written,
the spelling of your surname, Scalisi.
Nick, this
Con
is
una
written in a
S.
wrong way.
Ah.
It's one S. It's one S, not
Scalisi.
two. Scalisi,
Yes.
not Scalisi.
I
That's
have been,
Scalisi.
Could be
I
a
have been
typo
finding
there.
a lot of one S's. In
Yeah,
the
one
little bit of
S is
research
the
I've done.
correct one in
Mhm.
Italy.
Well, let's do this.
Ask if she, and if she.
Hey, are you from Omaha and are you related to Mickey Scalisi?
No, actually, we're from Wisconsin.
Okay.
And my grandparents came over separately, actually. They both landed in New Orleans. And then they came up here to be with other family members. So again, I just jumped on this group because I was fascinated by what you're doing and see how I can find out about my own family. So no Nebraska roots at all.
Actually, Eileen, in Italy, we don't have another group like our, I have to tell you. Today, I get connected through the University of Calabria. I started a master in tourism of origins with the best teachers that we have in Italy. And when I said, look, we have a Zoom, we gather every week. We talk about genealogical researches and everybody was shocked. All the students and teachers, they were like, what do you do over there? Well, we just talk and we share tips how to find, and say, nobody else does it in Italy. I was like, okay, so we are pioneers.
Very good.
That's worthy of an instant master's degree, Eleonora.
I'm sorry?
I was just saying that's worthy of an instant master's degree.
I started today a master on tourism of origins, and I will have another one in September with the University of Milan. This is focused on is a master organized by the Minister of the Salvo, mi devi aiutare, non so come si dice il Ministero degli Esteri e dei
Foreign Affairs, or Foreign Affairs in UK. I think it's
Foreign Affairs, no?
Foreign Affairs, yeah.
Foreign Affairs and the international cooperation. And I bought a book a year ago, and I get in contact with the teachers, and that's how everything started. And today I've learned a lot of things, and I will share with you the most important ones later. But actually, Eileen, I don't blame you, because there isn't a lot about tourism of roots and people searching their origins in Italy so far. And everybody's getting interested. Even the ministry is helping with the researches. And here we are. I think we are making the difference under this point of view.
So Eileen, do you see what's on the screen?
Yep, that's me.
That's you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna just get some basics from you, and then so Urso is not your maiden name. What is your maiden name?
It's actually Mackesy. It's Mackesey. Irish.
M-A-C-K-E-S-E-Y.
Oh,
That's
Mackenzie.
my, that's
Mackenzie.
my Irish side. Half
And
Irish,
Ryan.
half Sicilian.
Okay, so your father obviously was McKeezy.
Mackesy. Yep.
Mackesy. And what was his first name?
Thomas.
Okay. And your mother was who?
Elizabeth. Scalissi.
Con una S, Nick.
What was her birth date?
January 21st, 1932.
Nick Scalisi con una S.
Yeah,
One S. One S. Scalisi.
Where was she born?
Non lo so se lui deve scrivere alla maniera americana, se no non trova i parenti, poi non lo so.
Però così non è.
Where was
She
she
was
born,
born
Eileen?
in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay. And let's see what we can find on her. Well, we only got 12 hints.
Only?
So is that her?
That's her. Yep.
W07 shoots again.
Okay, so she's buried in Cottage Grove.
She is.
Okay, here we go. You are there. How many family trees did we update last year? Just in the last year, do you know more or less?
Oh my goodness, I don't know.
200 families?
I create a folder for just about everybody I work on. So we could count the number of folders.
Mm-hmm.
Give me just a minute here, though. Let me just finish this up.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
so
it was just I was thinking.
Elizabeth Joan is her full name, and her parents were George and Elizabeth.
Right.
Yes. Okay, so that's a September. And next. Okay, so now we've got enough where you and I can dialogue on this offline.
Thank you.
Ellie. And
Nika, I have just a last little request. Are we already in that ancestor who was born in Italy for Eileen? No, right?
No.
No, let me
They haven't,
because if we find the last one who left and maybe there is written where he was born, we can help in this way understanding where she has her origins in Sicily.
Okay, so it looks like Elizabeth's father may have been born because he's also known as Giorgio.
In Italy.
In Italy, yeah. So there's 1, 2, 3 family trees out there, Eileen, that have your mother in there. And this one has the actual date of death. And it has parents with some variant spellings here.
Does it have her mother's marriage record where it might say where her parents were from? Do you see that?
Well, actually, let's just look at this particular one. I like to normally just do one tree at a time because it can get kind of confusing if you're trying to merge them all in together. Okay, so this is her father. And it says he was also born in Wisconsin.
I find that hard to believe.
My grandfather?
Yeah, he was, looked like.
Go down in Piana degli Greci,
We
Palermo.
could
I
see
know
the
where it
Sicily
is.
there.
Yeah,
Piana dei Greci.
Piana dei Greci, Palermo. I know where it is.
Ora si chiama Piana degli Albanesi, però.
Sì, esatto, sì.
Oggi si chiama Piana degli
On the
Albanesi.
western side of the island.
Okay, so it's either Licali or I don't think it's this spelling here.
No, that's right.
So-
Licauli. No, that's correct, Nick. That's correct.
Yes,
Okay,
my
L-I-C-A-U.
Ma tu,
Yeah,
chi è
that's
che
correct.
significa? Licauli.
Could be like that. Yeah.
Huh.
Potrebbe essere.
Yeah,
In genere,
Licauli.
Licaus.
Okay, so well,
Yeah.
we,
Oh boy, that's
we
not the
know
spelling.
it's Piana de Greci for the grandmother.
Okay, so are you sure that today Piana dei Greci e Piana degli Albanesi?
Oggi sì. Oggi
In
si chiama Piana degli Albanesi.
1946.
È cambiata, non so in quale periodo.
I will double check if perchance is Piana degli Albanesi nowadays, because that's 1888. I have one of my best friend who was born over there, and I'll tell you more. If it's Piana degli Albanesi, they are still today one important and unique micro-linguistic reality in Sicily, because they speak Arbresh at home. They speak an old Albanese dialect of the 15th century that doesn't exist anymore. And they have the Orthodox rite in the church. They have their special dresses when they get married, their special rites. And in Sicily, we say that the best cannolo ever, the famous dessert, the best one is in Piana degli Albanesi, close to Palermo. So if you will come to Sicily, is a must to do, even if you don't have origins over there.
Allora, la moglie del fratello di mia nonna che si sposò ad Omaha era di Piana degli Albanesi.
La moglie del fratello di tuo nonno. Quindi
No, il fratello di mia nonna, quello che emigrò a
di tua
Omaha.
nonna, sì. The wife of Silvana's uncle, who was from Sicily and who got married in Omaha, was from Piana degli Albanesi as well, because Silvana, her...
E si chiamava Ninfa Spiro.
Come?
Ninfa è un nome tipico di quelle parti.
Ninfa? Ah, lei si chiamava Ninfa. Ah, yeah. Santa Ninfa is one of the 4 saints in Palermo. So a lot of girls and ladies over there are still called the Ninfa. And this was Ninfa. And this was the name of this lady.
Nick ha tutto l'albero genealogico.
Nick has the entire family tree. I'm not surprised.
Well,
nice.
This census records seem to indicate that he was actually born in Italy, which he was in Madison, but in 1940 it says he's born in Italy. 1930 says he's born in Italy.
Interesting.
Oh, Lana, are you already leaving? Lana, she has to go because she has personal things to do.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Lana.
Yeah,
I wanted to talk to you before you go. Can you stay for just a second longer?
Yeah.
So
Nick,
I
can
know
you
we've
mute me
chatted,
again?
but can you? Yeah, I'll mute you, Eileen. So tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're at, what's your family tree look like?
Well, I'm here in Omaha, and I found out probably just over a year ago, just prior to Thanksgiving 2022, we found out that we have links and we are biologically connected to some Italians here in Omaha. Pretty big name, the Canelias, which I didn't know was actually pronounced Canelia because I was here in Omaha. That's a big name. And everybody says Canelia.
Caniglia.
But then when we found out who we are biologically related to, they informed us, well, this is how you actually say it. So it's, we've had a really unique experience with the whole gene, like the DNA surprises and this and that, but it's been really nice. The Canelias of our direct Canelia family has been wonderful. So that's been amazing. And now my interest is, you know, I just didn't know about any of this for obvious reasons because we just had no idea. But now I'm ready to learn and I'm interested and I'm just happy to, I don't know, learn whatever I can, I guess.
So I don't know if I put your information in the tree or not, but I'm gonna look real quick if you don't mind.
Who is related here with the Canelias? Because it's the most numerous conspicuous family in Omaha from Carlentini. There are more than 120 Canelias families in Omaha, and they own the restaurants. They have been successful people. Still today, Jeremy Canelia is a great painter. Are you in contact with those people, Lana?
Not with the painter, but my grandfather and my uncle owned a long running restaurant, probably 30 years, I think it was open.
I think everybody here, they knew them.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a big family and there are so many businesses with that last name, but yes, they were involved in some of the restaurants and bars.
They made the difference in the economy of Omaha. Yeah.
What was the restaurant called? What restaurant?
The Leavenworth Cafe.
The what cafe?
Leavenworth Cafe.
Leavenworth Cafe.
Oh,
Yeah.
Leavenworth Cafe.
Aspetta, I didn't get it. Leavenworth
Cafe, 22nd.
I'll put it in the chat log. I think I know the spelling.
And they had a bar called Sereno's. And they currently have their Sereno's. Yep. Getting to know the family, there's lots of Tonys and Serenos and Gatianos and Sebastianos. So it's been fun trying to figure out who is who and keeping them all straight. I have a cousin, uncle, and grandfather named Tony. So
that's why in Sicilian, when we introduce ourselves, usually the other people looking at us, they ask like, who do you belong to? Because maybe we understood who you are, but we have to understand which family you belong.
Yep.
Yes,
I think I recall you said something about Fritz had helped you.
Yes. So Fritz was helping someone else figure out some DNA mysteries in that family, and they stumbled. They didn't stumble. They found me in Ancestry and asked me some questions, and of course I didn't have any answers for them because I didn't know that I did the test so long ago and I didn't pay attention to who my matches were. So when they asked me, I was like, oh gosh, I have no idea. And then I finally went back and looked at my list of DNA matches. All of a sudden I'm just like, who are all these Italian people? Like, so and Fritz was so kind to explain everything to me, and he broke it down for me, and we found my biological grandfather and of course the rest of my biological family, and so I just think he's wonderful and my family's been wonderful, so it's been a good experience so far.
Quindi è stata a Carlentini e Leonora, lei ha conosciuto la
Have you ever
famiglia?
been to Carlentini? Silvana is asking.
No,
not yet.
I would like to, yes.
Devi chiedere se conosce Jim Caniglia, che è di Omaha, Jim Caniglia. È stato quel signore che è venuto a casa mia, Eleonora, che si è sposato con la vedova del mio
Caniglia
cugino.
is the one who is not a work, let's say. I think they volunteered, the guys in San Salvador of Italy, in the kitchen. They make the pasta man. They make the spaghetti and the meatballs on Thursday or Tuesday. Do you know
Tuesday and
Jim
Thursday.
Caniglia?
Yes, Sons of Italy.
Sì.
What was the
I had
name?
the mostaccioli with the salsiccia a fine del mondo, the end of the world.
Praticamente la moglie di Jim Caniglia è la vedova del mio cugino di Omaha. Che è
So
risposata lei, perché
Silvana, she's
mia
saying
regina è
that
morta e lei si è risposata.
the wife of Jim Caniglia, she's the widow of her cousin who died, and she came last summer to visit her, and Jim Caniglia was with her. In the meanwhile, I'm sending to Nick some of the old menu of the Caniglia's restaurant that I collected when I went to the Douglas Historical Society Library. It's very complicated, this name for me. Maybe I didn't say it in the right way. Anyway, when I was there with Mary and Sofia. So if you are interested, I can send you all the menus because I have them all. Yeah, and the Caniglias are mentioned as well in a book called The Restaurants of Omaha. They are mentioned. I have to take my books. I'm coming. You go ahead.
So this has all been fairly recent in terms of discovering all this, Lana?
Yes, we found out right before Thanksgiving of 2022. And then we met them and we waited for everybody to take DNA tests, which was real fun waiting for. And then it was January, it was early spring. Well, no, that I'm going back. My dates are wrong. It was like a year ago that we met them. Yeah. So early spring last year is when we met everybody. But yeah, we like Fritz, I think first contacted me of November 2021. Sorry, that's what it was. And totally caught everybody off guard with all the connections that he was seeing and was able to explain. So yeah. But so I guess at this point we've known about our relationships for a year, and we've been able to spend time with each other, meet each other, and it's been really cool because so much of like me and my mother, like you just the physical features were really fun to see, but also like the similarities and features, but also just the similarities in personalities too was really fun to see or to watch and be around.
Your mother was a Caniglia?
Well, she sure was, but we didn't know it until I was identified as a descendant of a Caniglia. And then so as you can imagine, the situation was a little up and down for a while, but ultimately we were welcomed with open arms and open hearts, and it's been really, really nice.
Good. I will send to you those
Thanks
pictures.
for sticking around a little longer and telling us your story.
Oh yeah,
I hope you can come back soon.
Yeah, I will come back. Thank you so much. But yes, I gotta run and go get my son from school, but I appreciate your guys' time so much.
Thank you.
Well, it's been a pleasure, and we hope to see you soon.
Real quick, I just looked on my thing. I've got a Caniglia in my family also.
Yeah.
Fourth to sixth cousin, maternal side, Caniglia. I knew the name sounded familiar because it sounded super familiar. But yeah, I've got Caniglias in my family tree also.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Jeremy's a great artist.
And you and I are probably cousins too, Lana.
Well, thanks, guys.
All right, bye now. Okay, so I promised Betty, so I didn't really say hi to a lot of different people. Hi, Silvana. Hi, Jeremy. Hi, Donna. Hi, Juicy. Hi, Dean. Hi, Salvo. But I promised Betty that I would do some stuff for her. So I am going to go back and first of all, do you mind if I show your email, Betty?
No.
Okay, let's see if I can get that up here again. Share.
Nick, I see in my screen that the transcription with subtitles, it has been activated. So, Silvana, tu vedi sottotitoli in italiano mentre noi parliamo in inglese? No.
No, no, no.
No. Oh,
I
this
think
is
it only does
interesting.
the English.
I think so.
It's a question for the Carlentini group from Elizabeth Libby, also known as Betty. And she says, my husband and I are planning to return to Sicily sometime in the spring. Our purpose is to visit the towns my maternal grandparents came from, Santa Ninfa and Polizzi Generosa.
Generosa.
Messina.
Palermo.
Palermo?
Non lo so. vediamo.
No, Santa Ninfa è vicino Menfi, provincia di Trapani.
Polizia Generosa penso
Polizia Generosa è Palermo, sì.
Ah sì, ok, pensavo fosse Messina.
Okay,
No, mi
so
pare che ancora rientra, ora lo
since
cerco.
people are kind of wondering where those things are, let's just put them up on the map.
Sì, sì,
No, Palermo.
Google.
I remember when the highway to go to Palermo was broken, we had to go through Polizzi Generosa, was a labyrinth, was terrible. I'm sorry.
It is on a hillside.
Vabbè, ma se per questo Lentini, per esempio, è anche un labirinto, non è che
See, I'm not complaining about Polizzi, it was a labyrinth because the highway was broken, so it took forever. Yeah, I remember it was the closest village.
I can add, if I can add just a little detail about. Oh, sorry, it was something more on a sort of a fashion gossip.
Oh, Gary, ciao, Casin, are you going? Okay.
Nick, can you repeat that? I missed what you said.
So Polizzi Generosa is here where this little dot is. And there's this huge park, Parco del Madonie.
Madonie,
yes. Delle Madonie.
Parco delle Madonie.
And then it's not too far from Termini.
Termini. Sì.
Termini.
Sì, Termini Merese, sì.
Non è tanto lontano.
So,
If
you want to know her route, let's put Santa Ninfa in, so to see how close those two places are.
Nick, just one little very fashion gossip detail. Polizia Generosa is the little town from where Dolce Gabbana come from.
And is considered one of the most beautiful little villages of Italy, little Borgo.
And also the other town, Ganji as well, I think was one of the little town prize.
The recognition of best Borgo of Italy. Actually, the park of the Madonie Mountains is one of the most beautiful ones that we have in Sicily because it is the greenest. Is the greenest. Ciao Sarita. Ciao bella mia. Is the greenest and is a mountain with a lot of oaks and all the trees. They have autochthon variety of pork. The black pork of Madonie Mountain is very, very a niche, let's say, to make salami. And there are amazing wines over there. And it's the second area of Sicily where we can practice ski, because there is a mountain called the Pizzo Carbonara that is like 3,600 feet above the sea level, where we can ski during the winter. And obviously we can ski on the Etna. So it is a beautiful area of Sicily. And one of my favorite villages belonging to the park of the Madonie is Cefalù, because it's on the beach, and Castelbuono because it's adorable. It's like a medieval town where in the main square there is one of the most bar, cafe, laboratory of Sicilian patisserie, one of the most famous that we have in Sicily, Fiasconaro. And usually when we go there, it's a must to go to Fiasconaro and try the famous panettone. That won a prize in the 2002. The NASA made an international competition because there were astronauts going to the space during Christmas time, and they wanted to send with them the best panettone of the world. And the international competition was won by Fiasconaro.
So Betty, who is this that's from this area in your family?
My maternal grandfather is from Polizzi. And when we were in Sicily last time, we went to Castelbuono, Illinois. Wonderful.
Yeah. And there is a beautiful castle, because castel is a castle. And unfortunately, there isn't a furniture inside anymore, but it has the typical shape of a castle, with a nice entrance for the horses. So I wonder, maybe the knights, they used to ride with their horses, and the noble families with their carriages. And there is still a chapel dedicated to Sant'Anna. Yeah, that is considered one of the most beautiful masterpieces that we have in Sicily, because it seems to be made with the cream to make wedding cakes.
Yeah.
So it's entirely white, but this stucco is beautiful. Yeah.
Okay, so you asked me about Erasmo Brancato, this gentleman right here, who lived from 1882 to 1950. And you are under the impression that he has a cousin who is also Erasmo Brancato.
I think so.
What I think is that he is right here, Erasmus Brancato, son of Giuseppe and Giuseppe Cascio.
When I found their immigration records, my great-grandparents, Salvatore and Carmela, were listed with Erasmo and Gandolfa, and also listed was Giuseppe and another Erasmo. Both Erasmos were 15 years old. So it took me a minute to figure out, did they list somebody twice? But I think not. I think in that family, they're very consistent with the naming pattern of, first son. So that's my grandfather.
Yeah, and I found him on a couple different passenger lists, but it was, let's see, where is he? He's on the top line. And Brancato Erasmo, age 21. So this was the SS Roma sailing from Naples. Oh, okay, so he went back and then
he came when he was 15.
And says he's Italian. He's from Polizzi G, it says. And, seaport for landing is New York. Final destination, it says, is New York. And whether going to join a relative, it's his uncle, Giuseppe Brancato.
So yeah, that was his uncle then, okay.
So this says New Haven. So
Connecticut.
Yeah, they did come to Connecticut then, so.
Yeah. So 1074 Graham, is that an address you're familiar with?
I don't know.
Yeah. But it does look like, that's where he was headed. Okay, so then there's also, not sure why this is not allowing me to go back. Oh, it's because of the open window. So let's close that window, and it takes us back to Erasmo. And here's another one. He was actually on a 1909 passenger list as well. I did see the other Erasmo. In fact, when you do a search on Erasmo, the records for the other guy come up. So Father Salvatore. So that's yours because the father's right.
Yep.
And he was going to New Haven. He was a shoemaker at the time.
That's right. He had his own.
Yeah, on there too was his naturalization record too.
Unfortunately, their naturalization hasn't been digitized. There's a
reference to where, there's a reference to the naturalization, his certificate.
Yeah, and I have that.
Okay.
So here's the other guy, and he was born in 1885. Now there's actually I think in this case, it's a declaration of intention only.
I saw one born in 1877 somewhere.
So this one was born, I was born in Polizzi on or about the 18th day of March, 1885. Now reside at 440 Congress. I immigrated on the vessel Victoria, and that was on the 5th of March, 1898.
That's really good.
Now, is that?
That's the cousin, I think.
Okay. Yeah. So then there's a passenger list for 1899 for the 17th of March. So I don't know if he just remembered wrong or what the story was, but you can see him on this list with his father, I believe. So this must be yours right here, the Salvatore and Erasmo.
Yep.
And then here's Giuseppe Erasmo.
Yep.
And so they all came in 1899 is what it looks like.
And Carmela Ranasaisi, that's my great grandmother. So yeah,
okay.
I think they all, that's the record that I have. They all came together.
So yeah, definitely there was another Erasmo and they were both named after their grandfather.
Yep.
Okay, so going back to your other question, I don't speak Italian. I would like to find someone to act as an interpreter and genealogy guide for a couple days in each town. So I gave her Paolo's contact information. There's also a guy that lives over closer to that area. His name is Giovanni Montanti that could help as well. Eleonora, are you with us?
Yes.
Do you have any suggestions on local guides over between Santa Ninfa and Polizzi?
Yes, I have colleagues in Palermo that I trust too, and they can help driving you around. I need just to talk with you and let me know when you need those people, and I will talk with them to see their availability. So are usually our OAT colleagues, when they are not busy with the tours, there are 3 or 4 that I really trust, and that they already had other experiences with other Americans. So for me, it's gonna be very it's not let's say smart to go on the other side of the island, and yeah, I prefer to create the right network, because in the future we will have other people coming. Susan is the same. She will come to Carlentini, but she has relatives in Termini Marese. So I want her to be followed as I will be with her. I know it's not the same. Hoping that one day in the future I will be able to say no to the majority of my OAT excursions, but don't tell them, otherwise they will fire me before. But
You were just
in the
recorded
future,
saying that, so hopefully they don't read it's on YouTube.
I won't
my
tell.
goodness, and I love to work with them, and I hope that I will have enough room for to follow this kind of experience, because they are exactly the type of experiences that I would like to have and to share with you. So this summer I won't be ready to do that, so I will give you suggestions.
Okay.
So just let me know when I will be there.
I will send you an email.
The guy I
And I
gave you,
was
Benny,
thinking of
was
contacting
Paolo's
Antonella
in
and
Catania.
Davida. So,
Oh yeah.
but I'll send you an email.
I gave you Paolo Campagna is in Catania, so I don't know if he would really be the best guide for that side of the island.
No, I have some who had already the opportunity experiences to lead the people, so they know how to do. It depends if you need to go to the Ufficio Anagrafe or to the church or to the cemetery, and then knowing people. So sometimes it's even better if so they suggest us locals able to speak English that are from the little village, rather than people from Palermo. But if we don't find this kind of final, let's say, contact, we will start with a plan A using tour guide from Palermo.
Okay, thanks a lot. I will email
You're
you.
welcome.
And thank you.
In Carlentini, we are ready. For example, we have a chat with 40 people able to speak English. So when I'm not available, I just send a message. Hey guys, there is someone coming next week. I'm not available. They need this. Can you think about it? You will drive them, and then we will find a way, and we will talk about the compensation. This is even a way to create income and jobs for them. They learn how to treat Americans, because it's a different kind of tourism. It's tailor-made. So you need people who are still fresh, giving the right attentions, because sometimes tour guides, they are like, okay, this is the office. I will wait for you here. 4 hours I've done, I have to go, because it's their job. While when it's not, you put your heart and you have the experience, and when they finish, they're like, it has been unforgettable. I want to do it again. Give me another chance. So I think that, and according to the law, you don't have to be a tour guide to lead someone inside a cemetery or in the Ufficio Anagrafe. So if they speak perfectly English, it will be even better, because they know the village and they can find the connections even just walking on the street in the main square.
That's exactly what we'd like to find.
I know.
Exactly.
You know what I am understanding, studying those topics now in a more professional point of view, is that the demand is ready, is the offer that is not. We are not ready for you.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have our networks created. The city hall doesn't talk with the church and the cemetery. And I mean, there is no connection. So little by little, we will help to create those connections. I will go Palermo next week.
You'll get that all straightened out, Eleonora.
I will.
Okay, it's getting
I'm not
late, and
alone.
I told you guys that I would talk about the Italian parish records, so I'm going to do that kind of quick here. You all should have a copy of the email that came with the journal in it. But this is the journal of the Italian parish records. And I think many of you remember Suzanne Greco came and visited with us. Some of the key points in here, and I would focus some time reading Suzanne's mission and her her letter here. But so she talks about 3 dioceses that have recently come online. Let's see. So this I thought was interesting. She says one exemplary beneficiary using these records is Professora Nicola Barban at the University of Bologna, and talks about, you know, the specific fields of research that she's doing. And it's the first comprehensive study that combines historical and contemporaneous data to understand how population processes evolve by a multi-generational transmission and migration. So that's a lot of scientific speak that I don't know that I understand, but the key thing to understand here is that she's working with what I would call social scientists, and emphasizing the importance of parish records in that research. The really big news here is this particular paragraph here. In November, I had the profound privilege and honor to meet with His Holiness Pope Francis. And it was kind of an excuse because she was there as part of this event, the First World Day for Prevention and Healing of Child Sex Abuse. But her hidden agenda was parish records. So she appealed to Pope Francis about parish records, and he was very supportive. They received positive communication back. But one of the things he told her was the Italian church is very decentralized. The power is in the hands of the priests and the bishops. So those are the people you need to work with. Even though
I would like
even
to say
though
that
I may
Silvana.
think it's a great idea, you know. Go ahead.
Silvana, stai seguendo finora?
Sì, penso di sì. Ho capito che la Papa Francesco è pronto a fare le registrazioni di tutte.
Sì, lui è stato molto cooperativo, però ha detto a questa signora che la Chiesa italiana è molto decentralizzata, quindi in realtà quelli con cui dovrebbe collaborare sono i vescovi e i parroci.
Esatto.
Ma se lui dà l'autorizzazione, penso che i vescovi e i parroci si convincono. E tu sai come,
And Silvana is saying, however, if the Pope gives the authorization, all the others, bishops and priests, they will be forced to collaborate because we have this issue in Carlentini, as you know. So we need the authorization from the Pope.
È proprio di coccio.
Our priest is like a ceramic, never broken.
So in this paragraph, she says, as we move forward, we will be reaching out to dioceses throughout Italy. What she doesn't say is that on January 20th, she's writing to all the bishops of Sicily. So
dice che ha scritto a tutti I vescovi della Sicilia anche.
Hopefully this will get the ball rolling a little bit. So anyway, there's quite a bit more. Our friend Paolo Campagna is featured here on page 12 with several others. And I'm hoping that he doesn't get real busy with all of this, that he doesn't forget about us in Carlentini, but we'll see.
No, I talked with him for Christmas, and he said, I know that we still have a lot of work to do.
Right.
He remembers.
Okay, good. So anyway, that was the bottom line. The other thing I talked to her about was, you know, she's got a lot of parish records that are linked off of her site, italianparishrecords.org. And I thought, well, maybe she would be willing to host some of our cemetery registers, for example. And she was a little reluctant at first. She didn't really want to get into like cemetery pictures, you know, gravestones. But when I told her it was the registers, she said she was a little more favorable towards that. But then I thought, well, should we do that through her? Or she was talking about, she has a Google business account that I think she pays like $15 a month, or was it 20, something like that, in that range. And she has practically unlimited storage. You know, we did a few things on my Google Drive, but I'm not the real storage expert. I don't know. Trish, you still with us?
Trish?
Right here. Ask me again.
So do you have any thoughts as to, you know, the way we're doing things on Google Drive versus maybe having it hosted by some longer term entity? I mean, if we put stuff out there on Google Drive and I go away for some reason, is it still out there for you to access?
So far so good. I mean, as long as I can, you know, have a password access, but no, it was shared with me, so I don't need a password. I like it just because depending on the file sizes, it's free at the moment, isn't it? Or are you paying a yearly fee for your Google Drive?
Free. I have 2 Gmail accounts, so I did it on my other Gmail just so that I didn't overload my main Gmail.
Yeah. I would say depending on the volume of files, but the next, you know, pay grade up on a Google Drive is $19.99 a year if you need to go to 100 gigs. And I don't think that's too.
That's not bad. Only $20 a year. And it's
Yeah.
an individual account though, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought you meant 1,999.
No, $19.99 is $19.99 a year, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a pretty good deal.
I'm sorry. If we have finished this topic, I was going somewhere else. I'm sorry. I was looking for him. In the lesson that I had today, they shared interesting information, and the most important ones for us are, there is a project in Italy called Scuola Pitagora that involves a lot of villages and cities, and these are projects for the digitalization of the registers. They investigate and they digitalize. So I'm trying to get contact with this Pitagora school that is a project. And then they mentioned a certain Mr. Ferro, who is a teacher in the region called Piemonte, that's the info number 2, who has invented a method that is very, very popular among genealogists, but I'm not finding him on Facebook, so I will try to find a direct contact with this Mr. Ferro. And then the third important info that I want to share with you is that in literature, there is almost nothing about stories of people related to the origins, the tourism of origins, or people talking about their family, like Bob and Anita did, for example. Those could be considered examples in literature. I'm sorry, just want.
Okay, well, so Juicy, or are you done, Eleanor? Or
No, and last information is that those teachers, they have a project to go to the high schools, and they already did it in Bologna, Milan, Germany, Spain. The kids are 17 and 18 years old, the 4th and 5th grades. They are studying genealogy 30 hours per week. So there are like concentrated courses for that. And they are getting involved and they love it. So I'm sure that involving even the schools, this will give an interesting this will make the difference in our society, because they will start talking about it very early, building their own family trees as well. So this is what I want to share with everybody.
okay, well, I want to.
È tardi, ho sonno, domani devo stare presto.
Ciao Silvana, buonanotte.
Ciao a tutti, buonanotte. Ciao,
Good
ciao.
night. Thank
Ciao,
you.
Silvana.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, Jeff.
Okay, so I want to talk about Joe Castro for just a second. Is Margie still with us?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, so let me get back over here, share my screen. So I know that Jim Beckman was talking about this grocery store,
Yes.
and I just thought this was such a beautiful picture. So this is Joe Castro, and this is his wife, Rosa DiMari. And this is your grandmother, is that right, Margie?
Correct. Yep. Margaret Bellegarde.
Margaret Bellegarde. And we're not quite sure who all the rest are. I think
the one guy on the far right, he resembles my grandfather, but I don't think that's my grandfather. Yeah, that's what I say.
So I was going to ask you, Margie, on this calendar here, on the original that you have,
Yes.
can you actually see what year that calendar is?
I could certainly go look. Do you want me to do that now?
No, not right now, but if you could just make a post-it note or something to look at that and see if you can actually see the date.
What was the address of this again?
This is 23 or 523 William.
523 Williams. Thanks.
You betcha.
I don't know why, but here's an exterior view.
Yeah.
That Margie sent me. It was called the C&J, and it says Joe Castro up here. Do you know what the C&J stood for, Margie?
I wish I knew. I was trying to figure that out. But yeah, at the top it says Joe Castro, but then I don't know who the J is of C&J.
Maybe it's Joe.
I know. Maybe. Thought about it.
Yeah.
So this is along 6th Street.
Correct.
All right. Yeah, because I drive by there like almost every day.
What's a Dr. Pepper? Is the brand?
That's a soft drink, yes.
It's kind of like Coca-Cola, but I think it's sweeter.
Oh, okay, like like Pepsi, something like that.
It's just
soda.
It has a weird flavor to it, and I don't like it.
I don't mind it so much. I like it. We have some out in our fridge for our son-in-law.
All right, so we got that guy. Let's see. So there was actually these people when they moved to Omaha. It was incredible. They lived in Carlentini. They moved to Omaha in the 1910s or something, and they never moved. They stayed in this location forever, which is absolutely amazing to me. You know, they make whatever, 5,000 mile journey to get here, and then they plant themselves in one spot.
Maybe they didn't like to move that much.
Probably not.
Stay in the area.
Yeah, they made a huge effort already to come over there, and they said, "You know what? Let's stay here."
That's
The
for
other
sure.
ones.
So
Then
this is
for,
the 1920 census for Omaha. And one of the things, it's highlighted here is Joe Castro and his wife Rosa. But this column here is the house number. So this says 531. And then down here it says William Street kind of along the side there. So that, yeah, they stayed on William Street for the rest of their lives.
yeah, they did. So Margie, did you know the Knotts?
Yes, the Knotts lived next door to us.
Yeah, because they were like my mom's best friends. And then the DeStefanos, were second cousins to my mom, and they lived with them. And it was like, I don't know if you know Josie DeStefano. I think she
That
goes
name
by.
sounds familiar.
She is like 90 something years old. She was on the Zoom meeting here, and I would like to talk to her again.
Yeah.
Because she probably knows everything that my mom knows about all of this stuff. And it's like the Odos were down in that area down there too.
Yep.
And it's like, this is like talking to the family members is talking to the Odos and the DeStefanos and the Lagutzas and talking with you. I think your grandfather, I think after your grandmother died, it looked to me like he let his brother Joe actually raise the girls. Does that sound right to you?
That's so interesting that you bring that up, because I was trying to put those puzzle pieces together. And with the conversations that Nick and I had, it seems to me like Joe was a first cousin to my mother's father. So it wasn't, sounds like they were first cousins.
I don't know. I thought I had them like brothers. And
and I would love to know that.
and I thought I had, I don't know. I don't have my tree up.
My mom would call them aunt and uncle, but I wasn't sure how the tree worked, so I don't know. And
yeah, because
mom,
he left girls there. It looked like in 1940 census that they were staying with Joe and Rose, and then he had moved around the corner down to around the other end of the block there on Woolworth is where he was living after that. He working at Cudahy?
Yes.
Was he a butcher?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, are you looking that up on here now?
I'm just showing you what I have in my tree, Jim.
Okay. All right.
This is her grandfather Alfio and her grandmother Margaret.
Yeah, she passed away really young.
She did.
Yeah.
My mom was 4 years old.
And her mom was only what is that, 23?
Yes.
She was
23.
very young.
Evidently she had strep throat, but evidently.
I don't know. The Odos were telling us that there was like tuberculosis going around through that neighborhood too, where several of her relatives had died from TB. And I know my mom had a spot on her lungs forever. You know, it was inactive, fortunately, but she had a spot of TB on her lungs.
And
that's
what
probably
year
where she
was
got it.
that? What year was
Well,
that with the TB? Because my
1933 is when she died.
Yeah, but I think that's before the TB
Okay.
stuff happened.
Yeah.
Okay, because my
It'd be
grandmother,
interesting to
my
get her
mom's
death
mom,
certificate.
died of TB. She caught it at work, and she worked down that way.
Yeah, because I think it
So-
was down in that area.
So Jim, what I think is that Alfio Castro and Conchetta Finocchiaro are Joe's grandparents and also Alfio's grandparents. So that makes Alfio and Joe first
Okay.
cousins.
All right. I would not argue with that.
And did
But I have seen some trees which shows Joe's parents being Giuseppe and Lucia, but I don't think that's right. I think his parents, in fact, I actually did find his Machito 110 in 1882, and it lists his parents as Antonino and Pasquale.
Yeah. Yeah, unless I looked at my tree, I couldn't tell you that, you know.
I thought that store was just a beautiful picture, Margie, and you know, that grouping. It'd be nice to know. And then she's also got a mystery with a wedding picture that we'll talk about at some later date. But what I'm thinking, Margie, is you may want, if that you said you thought that wedding picture was done in Omaha.
Yeah.
That maybe
St.
posting
Francis
it to memories. Yeah, at St. Francis Cabrini. Maybe posting it to Memories of Little Italy, you might get a hit, you know. Are you a part of that group?
I don't think so. I'll check. I will be.
Yeah,
I've added a bunch here lately.
yeah, there's the old one and then the new one. The old one, the administrator got kind of crazy on us, so we
Okay.
created a new group.
That's what happened.
But
So, yeah.
that would be a good place to ask to see if anybody recognizes anybody.
Nick, what did you say the name of that group is? Memories of Little Italy?
Yeah, it's if you just if you go into Facebook, let me show you how to do it.
I think
So you go
Sherry's
into
the administrator of that one.
She is. Make sure you do
Sherry's-
the one with
Sherry's the
Sherry, not
administrator.
the one with Tony.
Okay, so you just see this little box that says search Facebook. Just put
Right.
memories. I mean, for me, it comes right up because
Great.
I'm
Okay.
there all the time. But it's this one right here, Memories of Little Italy, new admins.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And let's see. I think. How does this work? Oh,
Is Eleanor still on?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, I was trying to get you not to leave that last page.
oh, okay.
Okay.
That sign that's up there.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the sign I was telling you about, Eleonora. You go. This is the sign that points to Little Italy from 10th Street. As you can
Oh
see
yeah, I
up
went.
here.
Mary and Sophia.
Yeah, and
took me
you
there.
drove by there and you turned left at the next corner is
Yeah.
where you were staying at.
And I wrote to Lita. Well, but there was the snow, so forget it that I was walking as far as there.
Yeah.
But I
yeah,
asked
it was
Lita.
like that's why I couldn't understand why you didn't see that. You know, it's a big sign.
I don't know. Maybe I just drove in front of that sign several times, but I
Yeah.
thought it was advertisement. By Trish.
It is.
So I asked Lita to ask to the artist to create a beautiful mural saying "Welcome to Little Little" because this thing is terrible.
It's all ads because this is for Orsi's.
This is all we have, but maybe in the future we can do better.
But that's what I wanted. That,
I'm
you know,
sorry.
when we were driving around, I said, well, you had to have seen
It's
the
a big
sign.
one though.
Yeah, and you were staying up around the corner.
Yeah, I was in the opposite corner. Yeah, I don't know how
Exactly.
I missed it.
I don't know either.
But Marianne stopped and I took a picture of myself.
Okay, all right.
And we stopped even where there is the fork.
What's
and, yeah, it was nice. Grazie.
Yeah, the fork.
It was nice.
Yeah, the spaghetti fork.
Yeah, the spaghetti fork.
Famous spaghetti fork.
Well, we went around a lot, and now I'm curious to know when the big, huge museum, the new one, will be open to the public. You will let me know. And we were studying itineraries for Italians to come in the future. I think I will create a post soon about the next Santa Lucia because people are asking me here, how can we do to go to Omaha next year? Not next year, next summer. So get ready, students are coming.
Which museum are you referring to?
Well,
That's the
Marianne
one on the
knows. It's a
riverfront?
huge one with the stones outside, with the beige stones. Looks like Egyptian huge temple.
Is it down on the riverfront?
Mary?
Modern
Marianne?
Art Museum or what?
What? Which is the big, huge museum that you told me that is going to be open?
Jocelyn Art Museum.
Okay, all right.
But I guess it would take something like 2 years for restoration,
Yeah,
right?
right. It's due to open, I know for 2 years, it won't open till 24, 25.
They could have done it, I mean, for a portion, really, little by little, rather than shutting down completely.
Well, they're adding on a whole new wing, and then the inside needs updating. So they thought they'd do it all at one time, close down, and then be open
Was
again.
such a pity because I know it's beautiful. I was suggested to go there, but it was closed.
Yeah, I haven't been in there in years, so I have no idea what's there anymore.
They have a lot of neat displays. Depends on who's in town. They rotate it around.
You betcha.
Okay, I think now is the time
Yeah, it's the time.
to say goodbye.
Well, next week.
Arrivederci.
Thank you. See you next week. Buonanotte.
Oh, before we go, I'm gonna send an email, but I won't be with you guys next week. So, or maybe even the following week, because I'll be in California.
Okay, we will make a
Okay.
cannoli lesson, Italian lesson, and the Sicilian lesson, and you will miss it all.
Yeah.
We will
Then they must
prepare
not have
cannoli.
internet in California.
Holy cannoli.
Well, yeah, they do, but my wife, I told my wife I would not waste my time on Zoom while I'm traveling.
Well,
That's
you're
it.
right. Well,
That makes
prepare
for a
some
happy
letters.
wife.
Yeah.
Prepare some letters if you have, so we can read them and translate them simultaneously. So we have a language lesson, anthropological lesson.
music
because
lesson.
we will learn.
That would be nice.
Yeah, a lot of things together. A memory lesson.
You'll have to watch the video, Nick.
Good night. Safe trip, Nick. Safe trip.
Ciao, enjoy in the
Thank you,
land
everybody.
of the orange puppies.
We're going to La La Land.
Ah.
Ciao, ciao.
Good night.
Good night.